Hi guys, so I am back and this time we're going to talk about books that I've read slash mostly audiobook. I think they're almost all audiobook. But anyways, so we're going to talk about all the books that I finished, and I think there's two that I semi didn't finish. I'm going to look down just because I have a list of all the books. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Big Magic. So Big Magic I really like. For anyone out there who's thinking about creative or being creative or just any of that aspect, I think it doesn't have to relate with you necessarily needing to be creative, but it's a really good book. It's a self-help book and I just liked it a lot. I mean, I think there were some sections that I didn't mind all that much, like I didn't care for. But there were some sections that I think can be quite motivating as well. And I don't know. She talks about a lot of different kind of aspects like fear and what people think of you and how to get over that and just different type of, I don't know. I do highly recommend it. I do like it. I think you may get something a little bit more out of reading it and highlighting stuff. I eventually kind of want that book. But there's another book that I want even more so, and they're kind of in the same realm. But Big Magic, I definitely recommend. It is a self-help book in a way, and I think it's pretty good. And I think I got a lot of feedback from it as well because my friends and I kind of did a book club on it, and I think it's a really good book, and I do recommend that. It's fairly short, so you can get over it or get it done in probably a day if you read the whole thing, but a chapter here and there is also pretty good as well, so that is something I do recommend. The second book is, I think I'm going to talk about Contagious. It's Contagious, and oh my gosh, I love this book so much. It is about research and it is almost the same sense as a self-help book as well, but the format is a little bit different. It talks about our culture. One of the things they talk about is, I forgot what the word is, but they come up with a lot of different social terms. And one of the things that I remember most, and is near the beginning, is talking about social currency, and I thought that was really interesting. So I think that book versus Big Magic, I would recommend Contagious first over it, just because I think if you like research, I think if you like statistics, I think if you like new ideas and thoughts that you never really thought about, like social currency was very interesting to me. For instance, if I'm gonna give an example that the book actually gave, is if you want to be perceived as comedic, you generally like to make jokes, etc., and that would be your social currency. And the books kind of go more in depth to that. It's just your social currency is things that you do to like how people want you, or how you want people to perceive you as. So for instance, if you want to be known as intelligent or something like that, you generally throw out facts and to make yourself, not to make yourself, well, it is making yourself look smarter or more intelligent, but that is your social currency. And I love this book, and it explains a lot also about behavior, which is something that I'm always interested in life because I observe people a lot, I guess. So Contagious is what the book is called, and I absolutely, man, I can't talk today. I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend it. Just because right after the book is done, I wanted to listen to it again, and I also wanted to buy the book, which is reminding me to go get the book so that I could read it again, but actually read it. And I kind of wanted to highlight some parts of it, and I don't know if it necessarily will help you. Like the Big Magic is more like a confidence kind of book and to get over certain things. So it was just very intriguing to me. So those two are not technically novels like an actual book with a storyline, but I thought those were interesting. So other books I read was, I think I talked about Ready Player One previously before, but I don't know if I ever mentioned that I finished it or not, but I was into reading it. So now I actually completed reading it, and that was audiobook as well. And would I recommend it or not? I think one of my friend or two did like it. It took me a while just because it was somewhat slow, and it is a very young book, like a very kid kid-ish book, not really for young adult, I think say teens, that would really enjoy it. And so I guess if you have a child or something like that that's in middle school, I think that kid would really like it. For me, I thought it was entertaining enough, and I wanted to know what happened. I thought the world was quite interesting. But would I recommend it to someone that is like my age, around 20, mid-20s, 30s? I don't know if you would enjoy it all that much, but it's very similar to Ender's Game. But I have to say I love Ender's Game so much better because there is so much more aspect to that world. And I just love that writing a lot better. So I do like Ender's Game a lot better, but if I had to compare it to something, I would compare it to Ender's Game, maturity level, the whole genre and everything. So yeah, so I say it was fairly decent. I kind of rate that as like probably a 6 out of 10 maybe, just because it took me a while and I never was too excited to listen to it or too excited to get to it. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, what's gonna happen next kind of thing. The next book is called, it's The Crown, which is the selection series, which I also talked about before. I think this was the worst book. I think this is either the 5th book or something like that, and it's the one that I could care less about. And I just decided to finish it because I wanted to finish the whole series, which is very unlike me. And I think that's the thing about audiobook, is it helped me get through the book without actually having to, use time and read it, because, I'm just listening to it, even though that is actually a lot of time too. But I didn't mind, I guess, spending time listening to this book just because it was quite mediocre. I would say this is 4 out of 10. This is one of her worst book. I really did not care about what happened to her. That sounds bad, but I didn't care for any of the characters really. But I did finish it. Would I recommend it? I think if you are okay with the selection series, then yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. Mediocre or less than mediocre, since it was 4 out of 10. The next book, I didn't put it down, so I can't remember what it was called, but I will figure it out for you, and I'll put the title here or the picture of the book. I did like that one. So let's say you like this aspect of the prince or something like that, or you want to know about the other guy that America chose. Or did not choose, who she was with at the beginning, and like her Maxon's father and mother selection. It talks about all of them in that one book. So I like that one better than The Crown, even though I semi didn't like it all that much. I did finish that one too, and I would say I give that one 5 out of 10. I'm very picky with my books, aren't I? Okay, and then the last one is In the Dark Wood, and that one's by Ruth Ware, and I like this book. I like it more than all the other ones, except for The Contagious, which I like the best. And The Contagious, I know I'm all over the place, but The Contagious, I rate it out of like 8 out of 10, which is really high. And then Big Magic is probably like 7 out of 10. But back to In the Dark Wood, it's a mystery, and it's not all that scary, but it's quite interesting, and it kind of gave me the same vibe as The Girl on the Train. So if you like The Girl on the Train, I think you would somewhat like In the Dark Wood, because they're very similar with feeling wise. So it gives you the it gave me the same sense as if I was reading The Girl on the Train. You don't necessarily like any of the character at all, really, because in the Girl on the Train, you don't really like any of the characters, and it's a mystery in a sense, and it's something that you wouldn't expect at the end, I guess, or like you could not really guess unless you're really good at guessing or good at mystery. So I do like that one. I would say it's like 6 to 7 out of 10, I guess. And the other 2 books that I want to talk about is A Man Called Ove, and My Grandmother Told Me to Tell You She's Sorry. So they're the same author, and it's funny because I know A Man Called Ove is, I think, either on some sort of bestsellers list. A lot of people do like it. One of my friends loved it, and she said she cried. So I think you can give it a shot. The reason why I thought I may be interested in it, because when I read the synopsis of it, I did like it. But unfortunately, I read halfway, like 50% of the book, and that is actually a lot of a chance to give to a book. And I just did not like the character, but a lot of people, and he's the main character, I don't know, there's just something about him that it's not like I love him, it's not like I hate him. It's just I just rather not hear about him. And he's not completely like whining or complaining or anything like that, but I get that kind of sense. And it seems like he's supposed to be humble, but he doesn't feel humble to me. So I just, in my opinion, I just didn't like it. But I think you can give it a shot because you might have a different feeling than it. And the stylistic writing of it, I didn't like it all that much as well. And so I didn't know if it was the story, but I gave the author another shot. And that goes for the reason why I tried. My grandmother told me to tell you she's sorry. And I did not like that book whatsoever. I just could not stand the book at all. And it's the same author, so it's the same type of writing that came out around the same time. And I literally hated the grandmother. That's such a long, it's such a long story, or not a long story, but a long title. I didn't like that writing whatsoever. So yeah, that was just the strangest book review ever, but those are my thoughts on the books that I like. So if you had to choose one of those books to read, I would say Contagious. And then Big Magic if you like self-help book. If not, then I would definitely give In the Dark Dark Wood a try. So that is all for my book review. I hope you guys like it. I know it's all over the place, but it's just to give you my thoughts and idea of how I feel about certain books that I've read so far. So yeah, I hope that helped you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Leave me a comment down below on what books you're currently reading or what you recommend, because I drive so much that I go through books really quickly. So just let me know if you have any suggestions. I would love to hear them, and I would love to try them. And I will see you guys some other time. Bye!